Hey everyone! So today I am back with not a beauty or fashion related type of video, but rather a video that I think is really important to share, and a video that I've been planning on doing but have been pushing back for quite a long time, and I finally got around to it. I am going to share with you my tips and advice and stuff on how to get A's and basically just kill all of your classes and exams and stuff. Watching this video is not going to be enough. You actually have to really try and implement these things into your daily activities. The very first but very, very important topic is to know yourself. Do you know when you study best? How distracted do you get, and where? So I know people that study best in the library where it's super quiet, and there's also people that study outside where, you know, there's a lot going on, but they do well that way. So your first year in college and even in high school, this is the best time to experiment and to see what works best for you. I know in high school I studied best at home in my room with some music playing. Right away, first week of school, you better go and find any place you can to just sit down and study. Something else that's very important is to know when you study best. There's people that study best in the morning, in the afternoon, or like late at night. Do you need someone with you as a study buddy? Do you need someone to push you? I've always been the type of person to push myself and motivate myself. I usually study by myself. I know people study best with other people. To be able to get an A in any class, you need that self-control. You need that self-control to say no to a friend that's going to have a party. The second most important thing, you have to have an organized planner. I know people get calendars and they just put it on their wall and they just write the exam dates and stuff, but I think a planner works best. Having a planner is not going to be enough. You're going to need to use this planner. It helped me like remind myself of when the next exam is and how many days I have to study, and it also helps to kind of show you how to like space out your time in terms of studying for what class. But this is especially important if you work like I did throughout undergraduate. I worked several jobs. I worked in the pharmacy and I also like waitressed and stuff. So it's really important to manage your time and see how busy a specific week is and if you need to take off work. So it's nice to have that all there for you to look at. So the very first day or first week of class, I highly recommend you go and introduce yourself personally with your professor, and just to start that relationship with your professors. It's easier for you to like raise your hands and just talk about any like questions or concerns you have about the class with the professor. It's very important that you don't miss any classes. I rarely, if not ever, missed class. It's not just about studying, it's about creating that relationship and maintaining that relationship with your professor. I'm not saying to be a brown noser, I'm just saying that it's important to be active in class. And that's going to lead up to my next topic, and being active in class, it doesn't mean you have to answer every question that the professor asks. Be active in terms of taking notes, actively take notes. The very first test is kind of like a test run. You kind of see how well you did in terms of taking notes and how well you interpreted the professor's lectures. Some professors, they will ramble on and on and on about a specific topic, but then you don't even see a single question about it in the exam. And then there's specific professors that they have those PowerPoints and outlines and stuff, but they actually test you on what they say about them. You can like study those little bullet points all you want, but they're going to test you about like maybe even a specific example to tie into the specific topic. So it's not just about studying what they give you, if they give you anything. By being prepared for a class, like reading ahead of time those textbook pages and stuff, it really helps you when you're in the lecture and the professor is basically just reviewing what you read in the book. It's very important to just stay active in terms of taking notes, because you're going to need those notes when you study and stuff. Those notes that you take in class, they will be the notes that you're going to be clinging on to until like the last second before the exam starts. So if and when a professor provides you with the chapter's notes. Get those notes like loaded on or printed out, loaded onto a laptop, whatever, and add onto those notes when you're in lecture. If you have a free hour right after class, you should read over those notes, maybe edit it. It's so important to review those notes either before class, before the next class, or right after that class. Yes, it's still fresh in your mind, but to get that reinforcement of those notes, it helps a ton. That night, you should be reviewing all of the notes that you've taken that day from those 3 classes or whatever.